Welcome back to Storytime with Mrs. Eubanks. Today's selection is called A Poem in Your Pocket by Margaret McNamara and G. Brian Caras. I chose this book because April is National Poetry Month. We're going to meet a little girl named Elinor who is in a class who is taught by Mr. Tiffin. And Mr. Tiffin, since it's the month of April, has decided to invite a guest poet by the name of Emmy Crane. And he's charged his class with creating a poem that they can read to Miss Emmy Crane. Well, Elinor is a bit of a perfectionist, and she struggles a little bit with writing the perfect poem. So join me in reading to find out how Elinor overcomes this perfectionism and determines that anybody can be a poet, even you. A Poem in Your Pocket by Margaret McNamara and G. Brian Caras. Mr. Tiffin's class had never had an author visit them before. Emmy Crane is a poet, said Mr. Tiffin. And she doesn't know it, said Robert. That rhymes. Not all poems rhyme, said Elinor. Miss Crane is coming to visit for Poem in Your Pocket Day, said Mr. Tiffin. We're going to write poems of our own and put them in our pockets. I'm going to wear my jeans with 6 pockets that day, Elinor whispered to Molly. I'm going to have a different poem in each one. I'm sure your poems will be perfect, Molly whispered back. Elinor thought it would be too show-offy to agree, so she didn't say a word, but inside she nodded. Elinor got to work. All during March she studied poetry. All during April the class caught up with Elinor. They read poetry books and learned poems by heart and wrote poems in their poetry journals. Every day there were something new to learn. Mr. Tiffin taught them about similes, and they tried them out. Robert is as tall as that really high building in the middle of town, said Robert. Math is like a knot, said Tara. One that we can untangle together, said Mr. Tiffin. A simile compares 2 different things using like or as. They worked on metaphors. A metaphor is a comparison saying one thing is another. Recess is an ice cream cone on a hot day, said Alex, even in April. Homework is a belt that's too tight, said Jake. Do you have a metaphor, Elinor? Asked Mr. Tiffin. I'm coming up with something amazing, said Elinor. I'm just not ready to say anything. Elinor is a library, said Tara, filled with silence. The class read short poems. These are called haiku, said Elinor. Little poems can say a lot, said Charlie. They read puzzle poems. These are called acrostics, said Elinor. They're fun to figure out, said Jeremy. Here's a haiku by Jeremy. No more gray days with a poem in my pocket, bright secret rainbow. An acrostic poem by everybody. Teacher, interested, friendly, fun, impressive, nice. They read poems that looked like pictures. These are called concrete poems, said Elinor. A concrete pumpkin seed, said Kimmy. And they read a whole lot of funny poems. Hey, who knew poems could make you laugh, said Jake. I don't know the name of these, said Elinor. Whew, said Molly. The concrete poem by Charlie reads, There is only one way to find out how many seeds are in a pumpkin. Count, 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 count. And the poem titled Funny, Mom's Complaint, written by Jake. We're out of apples, kids again. Don't eat so many, please. They're costing me a lot of dough. You think they grow on trees? One bright morning, Mr. Tiffin took the class outside. What do you see? He asked. Use your poet's eyes. Everyone looked around. Buds are like tiny red firecrackers, said Charlie, waiting to explode into flowers. Sadness is a cracked sidewalk, said Tara. Very nice, said Mr. Tiffin. Miss Crane will be so impressed. He noticed that Elinor was being very quiet. How about you, Elinor? What does your poet's eye see? Elinor wanted Miss Crane to be impressed with her, too. I'm still thinking, she said. On Friday afternoon, Mr. Tiffin brought everyone in class a small brown bag with a surprise inside. Sneak a peek inside your bags and then write a poem about what's in there. But don't tell anyone what you're writing about, he said. We'll do our best to guess. The class took out their poetry journals and got to work. Then they read their poems out loud. Alex guessed that Jake had a pebble in his bag, and she was right. Kimmy guessed that Molly had a glass animal, and she was right. She could even tell that it was a horse. No one could guess what Elinor had in her brown bag. Her journal page was clean and blank. This shell is too perfect to write about, she said. Try again at home tonight, said Mr. Tiffin, and remember, poetry is a messy business. On Saturday night, Elinor tried to finish her brown bag poem. She wrote 7 drafts, and she only liked one. When she woke up in the morning, she read the poem she'd liked. This stinks, she said. On Sunday night, Elinor wrote 6 haiku, with a total of 3 metaphors and 2 similes. She smiled as she went to bed. In the morning, she looked them over. These are not poetry, she said. By Monday night, Elinor was worried she wrote 11 rhyming poems. The next morning, she threw them off her desk. Today is Poem in Your Pocket Day, she said, and I don't have anything that's good enough. Elinor's eyes stung as she got ready for school. She wore a dress with just one small pocket, with nothing inside it. The day was as gray as Elinor's mood. The whole school was decorated for Poem in Your Pocket Day. There were pockets on the doors and poems in those pockets. There were pockets on the lockers and poems stuffed in those. There were rolled up poems and stapled poems. There was a poem written in chalk on the sidewalk, but that one had run in the rain. All the students had poems in their pockets, all except one. Elinor worked on her poem at recess. She worked on her poem in the girls' room. She even worked on her poem during science, but the more she worked, the harder it was to think. At the end of the day, the students gathered in the gym for the poetry assembly. Mr. Tiffin told the school that Emmy Crane was a great American poet. He led her to the stage, and she sat down in the author's chair. She looks like a queen, said Molly. She looks perfect, said Elinor. Emmy Crane read some of her poems aloud. She told the students what it was like to be a writer and answered their questions. Do you make a lot of money? Asked Robert. Just enough, said Emmy Crane. Where do you get your ideas? Asked Charlie. From everything I think and everything I feel, said Emmy Crane. At last it was time for Mr. Tiffin's class to read their poems. Elinor could hardly breathe as her classmates went up onto the stage and pulled their poems out of their pockets. Charlie recited his poem. Emmy Crane grinned. Robert shouted his poem. Emmy Crane winked. Tara whispered her poem. Emmy Crane nodded. Finally, it was Elinor's turn. She looked at Mr. Tiffin. Would you rather not read your poem? He asked. Elinor could not even speak. I wanted my poem to be perfect, she said to Mr. Tiffin, but I have nothing in my pocket. Nothing at all. You don't have to go up there, said Mr. Tiffin. I can't disappoint Emmy Crane, said Elinor. Elinor walked slowly up onto the stage. She looked out at all the students and all the teachers and at Emmy Crane herself. My name is Elinor, she said in a tiny voice, and I don't have a poem in my pocket. I tried and tried, but I couldn't get it right. Come over here, Elinor. Emmy Crane smiled a small smile as Elinor walked closer. No poem is perfect, she said in a voice only Elinor could hear. I thought of so many things, Elinor told Emmy Crane, but they're all in my head. Tell me what you've been thinking about, Elinor, said Emmy Crane. Elinor closed her eyes and thought about the poems she wanted to write. I have a poem, she said, in the pocket of my mind. She remembered the poetry book she had studied at the library. It is neat and perfect there. She used her poet's eye. As delicate as a shell and as sturdy. She thought about the treasure in her brown bag. It has mysteries hidden inside it. Then she thought about her blank journal page. But when I try to write it down, the words disappear. She pictured the poem on the sidewalk that morning, like chalk on the sidewalk in the rain. Then she opened her eyes. At last, Emmy Crane spoke. That's a poem itself, she said to Elinor. Those are words from the heart, and words from the heart are where poetry begins. Elinor stepped down from the stage. The assembly was over. Everybody clapped and cheered for Emmy Crane. Elinor was feeling too much to cheer, so she cheered inside as loud as she could. Elinor's poetry page. Poetry doesn't have to rhyme. Poems can come to you anytime. Follow your ideas wherever they may wind, and keep a poem in the pocket of your mind. I hope you enjoyed this book titled A Poem in Your Pocket. Stick around. I'm going to go through all of the similes and metaphors in this book. I hope you found some too as we were reading. Be sure to subscribe and support the author by going out and purchasing this book. It makes an excellent gift for your teacher. Until next time, keep reading.